Hi, I'm Cole, 34, and 2 months ago I lost my company, my crew, and my fiancée in the same week, and now the same people who wrote me off have to work under my name on their next job. I used to run, a small HVAC outfit called Cold Front Mechanical. 4 vans, a trailer, and a coffee pot older than one of my apprentices. I started at 19, dragging ductwork through crawl spaces, and worked up to licensed contractor by 28. By 32, I had a clean shop, repeat clients, and a 5-star Google rating I checked too often. I thought that meant stability. Then the winter slowdown hit and my main general contractor, Ellison Builders, went, temporarily paused, on 3 major projects. In trades language, that means we're broke, good luck. Payroll and vendor bills still came due. I covered a month out of pocket, thinking loyalty would circle back. It didn't. The day before Christmas, I called an all-hands meeting. Told my crew we'd have to cut hours until spring. Nobody was happy, but they got it. That's the thing about field guys, they understand ugly math. What I didn't get was that one of those field guys, my lead tech and best friend since high school, Josh, had already been talking to Ellison. He didn't just jump ship. He took half my crew and the maintenance accounts I'd built over a decade. The betrayal felt surgical. I found out when a client texted, "So Josh is handling service now? Thought you two were still partners." Partners. When I called him, he said, "It's just business, man. You've been stressed. Figured I'd take some pressure off." Pressure off. Like he was doing me a favor. By New Year's Eve, the shop was empty except for Ranger, my shepherd mix who guards the office couch like a tax auditor, and the leftover Christmas donuts nobody ate because they tasted like drywall dust. And as if the universe wanted a kicker, that same night my fiancée, Tara, walked in holding her phone like a weapon. "I can't do this anymore," she said. "Do what?" "This waiting. The uncertainty. You're obsessed with that business." She didn't say your business. She said that business, like it was a bad habit I refused to quit. I didn't fight. Didn't have the energy. She packed her things, left the ring on the counter, and texted me 2 hours later, "You'll thank me when you realize I was holding you back from something bigger." I stared at that line until my eyes blurred. The next morning, my landlord, a retired plumber who thinks empathy is a brand of caulk, dropped a renewal notice with a 20% rent hike. That was the morning I decided to shut it down. I filed dissolution papers for Cold Front Mechanical LLC at 8:43 a.m. Paid off vendors, and called it done. But if this were the end, I wouldn't be telling you this story. Because what they didn't know, what none of them knew, was that 3 weeks earlier, I'd been approached by a regional developer looking for a senior facilities manager to oversee their new service division. The offer had been sitting in my inbox, half-read, because I was too loyal to jump. That morning, I finished the paperwork. Base $155,000, truck allowance, benefits. Same clients. Same buildings. But this time, every invoice went out under a new name, theirs, not mine, and every call to fix a rooftop unit still rang my phone. And last week, when Ellison Builders got bought out by that same developer, guess who they asked to run the integration? "Hi Josh." "Sup, Tara," the badge said. "Facilities director." But what it really meant was I'm the guy you now report to, even if you used to steal my tools. First Monday of the merger, I pulled into the Ellison site yard at 6:48 a.m. In a company-issued F-250 that still smelled like paperwork and new leather. The guys were already there, huddled around a space heater, same coffee thermos gossip, same "who's buying donuts?" argument. Josh's laugh cut through first, that familiar bark that used to mean, "We're on the same team." He didn't recognize the truck. He sure recognized me when I stepped out wearing a hard hat with the developer's logo and a laminated ID clipped to my vest. "Cole?" he said, blinking like the universe glitched. "Morning," I said. "Toolbox talk in 5. No yelling, no drama. Just process." Inside the trailer, I laid out the agenda, safety updates, payroll transition, new reporting lines. When I got to my slide, you could feel the static. Effective today, I said. All subcontracted maintenance reports roll through me. New timesheets go through the developer portal. Any active service contracts under Ellison will be honored by us. Josh leaned back in his chair. So we're what? Your crew now? Not mine, I said. The company's. You'll have work, steady pay, benefits. It's a clean reset if you want it. He looked like he'd bitten aluminum. After the meeting, he followed me out to the yard. Look, man, I didn't mean for it to go like. You meant exactly how it went, I said quietly. You wanted a ladder. You just didn't expect I'd build another one faster. He didn't answer. Just stared at the gravel. That night I drove home, fed Ranger, and stared at the old cold front sign leaning against my garage wall. I should have felt triumphant. Instead, I felt the same tired calm you get after fixing a breaker no one else could find. Relief, not revenge. 2 weeks in, the rhythm returned. I was running budgets, visiting sites, actually sleeping. The developers like numbers. I like deliverables. No one asked me to fund payroll from my own account anymore. Then came the gala invite, regional partners, suppliers, leadership. Black tie, open bar, PR smiles. I almost skipped it until Jenna from procurement, the sharp-eyed woman who'd brokered my hire, stopped by my office. You're coming, she said. We're celebrating the new division. Bring a guest. I laughed. My +1 is a 90-pound dog that hates champagne. She smiled. Then bring whoever replaced him. I didn't have an answer. Gala night hit cold and clear. I wore the same navy suit I'd worn to sign my first shop lease, Superstition. The ballroom hummed with corporate small talk and plates of food no one ate. Halfway through the evening I saw her. Tara. Red dress, glass of wine, laughter calibrated for proximity to money. She was there with one of the vendors we'd hired for the integration project. Her eyes locked on me mid-sentence. The smile stalled, rebooted into something brittle. Cole? She said, approaching like we were still engaged and I'd just been out running errands for 8 months. Evening, I said. I didn't know you worked with Summit. I don't. They work for us now. It landed exactly how it was supposed to. Her date shifted, pretending to check his phone. She stammered something about hoping I was doing well. I nodded once, turned back to Jenna, who, yes, had shown up in a charcoal dress that made professionalism look like art, and asked her about next quarter's procurement plan like Tara wasn't even there. Because she wasn't. Not anymore. Later that night, outside under string lights, Jenna clinked her glass against mine. You're not gloating, she said. Too busy building, I said. She grinned. Good. Keep building. That's how you win. I drove home with the windows down, cold air cutting through the last bit of resentment. Ranger met me at the door, tail thumping like a metronome. I looked at the old cold front sign one last time before carrying it to the curb. Not as trash, just as something finished. 3 weeks after the gala, quiet finally started to feel normal. No missed calls, no subcontract drama, no emotional math. I'd come home, feed Ranger, log mileage receipts, and sleep before midnight. Then, 6:42 a.m. On a Thursday, I got a text from an unknown number. We need to talk. It's important. No name. No context. Just the kind of message that wants to drag you back into a story you've already finished. I didn't reply. 5 minutes later, an email popped in from Josh. Subject line, clarification. He wrote, we should clear the air about what happened. There are rumors. Let's grab a beer like old times. Old times? Old times was me covering his payroll when he forgot an invoice. Old times was him borrowing tools I never saw again. I replied once, short and clean. Nothing to clear. Focus on the new projects. We're good. He didn't write back. That afternoon, Jenna stopped by my office holding a file. Just a heads up, she said. Your old shop accountant forwarded a weird call log. Someone's been fishing for your business tax ID. I nodded, already knowing who. Josh or Tara? She raised an eyebrow. Tara? Ex-fiancée. Aspiring victim. Jenna smirked. Got it. I'll have legal flag it. 2 days later, Ranger started barking at the window. A white SUV idled at the curb. Driver window down, phone raised. Recording. I stepped outside, phone in my hand already recording back, timestamped, geotagged, audio live. You need something? I asked. Tara lowered her phone. You ruined me. I almost laughed. You posted that I was broke and lazy. You dumped me for a photo caption. I moved on. That's not ruining, that's record keeping. She blinked. People say you only got that job because I'm good at it. I said. You want to talk, call your lawyer. I went inside, uploaded the footage to a cloud folder labeled Evidence, Personal. Then I made a new rule, no engagement without paper. Over the next week, HR received 2 anonymous complaints accusing me of favoritism, both traced to the same temporary Gmail. Same phrasing, same grammar mistakes, same attempt to frame Jenna. Legal dismissed them within a day. The real surprise came Monday. A courier dropped an envelope on my desk, no return address, just my name typed in all caps. Inside, a single sheet of letterhead from a law office I didn't recognize. Cease and desist, alleged defamation. It accused me of defaming and interfering with the reputation and economic prospects of Ms. Tara L. I didn't even finish reading before forwarding it to Kara, my lawyer. 10 minutes later, she called laughing. Cole, this is a template someone downloaded off Google Docs. Not even filed. But I'll respond officially so she learns what discovery means. Her letter was short. Any further contact, direct or indirect, will be documented as harassment. 3 days later, silence. That weekend, Jenna invited me to her place to help install new recessed lights. Ranger and her dog, Moose, supervised. Halfway through the install, she looked at me and said, You keep everything organized, don't you? I shrugged. It's cheaper than therapy. She smiled. No, it's why you're still standing. That night, after dinner, I checked my phone one last time. No calls. No texts. Just the hum of a quiet life rebuilding itself. I poured a beer, scratched Ranger's ears, and wrote one line in my notebook before bed. Boundaries aren't walls. They're doors with locks, and I finally changed the key. 2 months later, I was back in stride. Work steady, paperwork clean, Ranger snoring through conference calls like an emotional support generator. Life was finally boring in the way you pray for, receipts balanced, coffee hot, no chaos in the inbox. Then came the expo. Every year, the Regional Building and Trades Association throws a convention downtown. 4 days of vendors, new tech demos, and people pretending they're not job hunting. Summit had a booth this year. I was scheduled to give a 20-minute talk on energy efficiency and retrofits. Not glamorous, but hey, free badge and coffee. Jenna was there, calm as ever in a blazer that said I owned the room, not the drama. I was halfway through wiring a demo board when Grace, our office manager, came jogging up. You're going to love this, she said. Which is code for, you're absolutely not going to love this. I turned. 40 feet away, at a competing vendor's booth, was Tara. She'd somehow gotten a pass. Red blazer, hair curled like she'd rehearsed the moment. On the table in front of her, a sign with her new title. Client Relations, Flowtech HVAC Solutions. The company we just outbid on 3 major contracts. Of course, I muttered. She saw me. Her face did that slow, practiced smile influencers use before selling a detox tea. She picked up her phone. I could see the red record dot. I exhaled, told Grace quietly. Call security if she comes over. Then I walked to the podium. The presentation started normal. Charts, bullet points, audience nods. Until I hit slide 7, system monitoring data from an installation I'd managed last year. In the photo behind me, clear as day, was Tara holding a clipboard from when she helped stage a project video months before the breakup. I hadn't planned it. The audience chuckled. Someone asked, "Who's the assistant?" I smiled. "Just someone who taught me a valuable lesson about circuit protection. When something keeps tripping, you disconnect it." Laughter. End of story. Tara stormed out mid-slide. Security later told me she tried to file a complaint with event management about defamation. The event staff shrugged. Public photo. Public talk. Nothing personal stated. That night, she posted a clip online, a shaky video of me at the booth captioned, "When your ex uses his new job to mock you." It got maybe 300 views. One of them was Jenna. She texted me, "You handled that with grace. And a little voltage." I laughed. Occupational hazard. After that, nothing. No calls, no burner accounts. The silence stuck this time. I spent the next month finishing a school retrofit ahead of schedule. The developers were happy, my team got a bonus, and Ranger got a stake because I believe in profit sharing. One Friday, Jenna and I left work late. She looked over the half-lit warehouse floor and said, "You ever think about starting your own shop again?" "Maybe someday," I said. "But this time, with contracts. And without charity cases." She nodded. "You'd name it something poetic, like Closure Electric." "Too dramatic," I said. "I'm thinking clean lines." We both laughed. Here's the thing no one tells you about closure. It doesn't feel like fireworks. It feels like sleep you don't have to earn. It feels like checking your phone and finding nothing you need to defend yourself from. People always say success is the best revenge. It's not. Peace is. And I built mine with wire, patience, and a lock on every door. A year out, everything had that steady hum you only notice when you stop bracing for impact. Summit's service division had grown from 3 crews to 6. My badge still said Facilities Director. But Jenna and the execs started floating another title, Regional Operations Lead. Same me. Just cleaner hands and better lighting. Ranger got older, gray muzzle now, still policing squirrels with union-level commitment. I moved to a small house outside the city, half-acre, detached garage, enough space for a workbench and quiet. No drama fit in the square footage. Tara? Haven't heard her name in months. Someone told me Flowtech folded. Bad accounting, not bad luck. Josh ended up there for a bit. Last I checked, he's freelancing again. We're not enemies. We're just data that stopped syncing. My phone buzzed one morning, LinkedIn notification. Jenna had tagged me in a post. A photo of a completed hospital retrofit, captioned, "Teamwork built this." I smiled. No quotes about growth, no hashtags. Just results. That night she came over with Thai takeout and blueprints for a new bid. We spread them across my kitchen table. She asked, "You ever miss the old days? The crawl spaces, the coffee from gas stations, the chaos?" "Sometimes," I said. "But I like this version better. There's still pressure, just less pretending." She raised a glass. To less pretending. We ate in companionable silence while Ranger snored between us, content to be the Switzerland of the conversation. Later, when she left, I sat in the driveway watching the motion lights flick on as she pulled away. I remembered how, a year ago, I was counting screws in the dark, wondering if everything I'd built was gone. Turns out, I didn't lose anything that was built right. I checked my emails once more, clean inbox. Then opened a spreadsheet out of habit and added a new line. Column A, Lessons Learned. Column B, Document everything. Column C, Forgive, but log the timestamp. Then I shut the laptop, flipped the shop light off, and went to bed. It happened on a Tuesday morning that started like any other, black coffee, Ranger patrol in the yard, inbox down to 0. I was halfway through reviewing a new contract when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Local area code. Normally, I'd ignore it. but the message preview showed one word. Apology. I opened it. Hi, Nate. I don't expect a response. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. You didn't deserve how I ended things. I was scared of stability, thought excitement meant love. You were building a life. I was building an image. Hope you're well. Tara. For the first time, I didn't feel the old tightness in my chest. No anger, no satisfaction, just distance. Like reading about someone else's weather. I didn't reply. Instead, I took a screenshot, saved it to the folder marked Archive, closed, and deleted the message. At lunch, I told Jenna. She didn't say much. Just nodded and asked, "You good?" "Yeah," I said. I think that was the last unfinished wire. She smiled. Good. Now let's go build something new. That weekend, I took Ranger to the lake. Same one where I'd proposed years ago. Different dog collar, same breeze. I sat on the dock, boots dangling over the water, and finally understood something simple. Some people enter your life like blueprints. Others like storms. The trick is knowing which ones you build from, and which ones you board up for good. I checked my phone one last time. No calls, no texts, no noise. Just a reminder from my task app. By Conduit. Call Mom. Enjoy the quiet. So I did. As the sun went down, Ranger leaned against my leg, heavy and content. My phone camera caught the reflection in the water, me, my dog, and a sky wired in gold. That photo became my profile picture. No caption. No quotes. No need. Because sometimes closure isn't a line you write. It's a life you finish wiring right.